match here in the Trios tournament. One representative from each respective team. We saw Mikey Truth move on for Dynasty. Who's it gonna be in round 2?
The big man, the powerhouse of the team of Dynasty, Jaxon Roy, chosen to represent in the second round. We're about to find out who his opponent will be. Will it be Dynasty's night here at the Devil You Know, Kevin?
Well, may very well be the case. Their debut here in PWO. Jaxon Roy, the takedown king, the standout amateur wrestler. He has everything that's required to be a champion here in PWO. But I guess the question is, who's going to stand across from him?
Well, unlike those opening rounds we saw in the pre-show here of Devil You Know, this will be contested as a singles match, so
one representative from each team in the finals will be a full-blown trios contest. Oh my. Jaxon Roy's first night on the job ain't gonna be a fun one.
Well, Kevin, how much of those amateur wrestling credentials are gonna mean against someone as tough as the grinder, Mark Shaw, and with that new mean streak, someone they're looking to send a message to, backed by Parkside. We saw what they did at the last show. It's the reason why this tournament is taking place. And I don't think you want to cross the grinder. It's going to be a tough night for Dynasty here in the second round.
Well, the grinder has spent so much time here in PWO trying to help the younger talent, trying to mentor them. And we've seen Parkside over the past few months try to pull Shaw towards his cause. We saw that metamorphosis take place at our last event. Mark Shaw truly is one of the biggest, one of the toughest, but there is one man that rivals him, and he's lurking in this building somewhere.
You touched on how Mark Shaw has tried to mentor so much young talent, not just the talent here, but all the guys in the suits back here, all the corporate guys, Nathan Savage, he's tried to guide him with PWO and the path with the promotion. And so, you know, we talked about how that cuts deep on Nathan Savage, and that's why John Greed is here, and we're going to see if John Greed is going to need to get involved in this Foundry tournament, Kevin.
And it's very interesting when we look at the dynamic between Mark Shaw and Greed. Last time we saw Greed here, he was almost in the position Shaw is in now, trying to take the company away from the younger guys, put himself on top. But since Greed left the ring, since he left those boots there, he's been working with younger talent all over Ontario. Truly a man looking towards the future.
That's that power we're talking about from Grinder Mark Shaw. And that's that ring veteranship and ring savvyship from Grinder. Able to take Jaxon Roy down.
Now, Roy, the young powerhouse of Dynasty. It's not very often we see the Grinder pleading with his opponent.
I wouldn't trust anything the Grinder Mark Shaw saying. Now Roy reunited with Parkside.
Whoa, going for that clothesline. Roy, the amateur athlete that he is, able to use that wrestling background to great effect.
Able to take Shaw down. Not an easy feat. This man of Shaw's size.
I mean, when we look at the sport of mixed martial arts in the modern day, a lot of the top athletes have a big focus in that ground game, in amateur wrestling. Jaxon Roy, if he can stay on top of the grinder, he could be moving on to the finals to represent Dynasty.
It's going to be a tough match to overcome with someone with the experience like Grinder Mark Shaw, who looks to continue to wear down Jaxon Roy here.
Truly is the X factor, is his experience. Off the ropes goes Shaw, forcing Roy and knocking down the grinder. The size of Roy very much a factor here. Goes through, combine it. with that beautiful takedown. Hooks the outside leg to move on to the final.
Great positioning from Roy, able to go for that pinning combination. Really took Shaw off his feet and stunned the big man here.
One thing of, oh, Shaw now. Knocked a little loopy, but still not quite. Oh, roll to the outside now. Could be self-preservation.
And with Parkside trying to egg him on, and we know that Shaw's not going to let it go to a countout. This could be a mistake from Roy here.
But now, Parkside causing a distraction. Shaw on the outside now. Back in, taking it to Roy.
Youngster with his back turned paid the price. Shaw with a double axe handle, taking a lot out of Roy. There's nothing fancy about anything that Grinder Mark Shaw does. He just likes to pound on you, Kevin.
Now taking that leg out, focusing in on it, trying to make sure Roy cannot get vertical. Focusing in on those hamstrings, shot after shot. I did hear Roy talking about how it was leg day yesterday at the gym. Shaw may very well be taking advantage of that.
Headbutts to the knee from the Grinder. Trying to wear Roy down.
Putting all of his weight on that heel, driving it into the leg. Oh! And the knee to follow it up.
Just a touch on the tournament a little bit further. The unofficial champions, the Renegades, as they'd like to be called now, Kevin, apparently. You talk about all the X factors in professional wrestling, there's a big question mark. There's a big X factor looming in their team. We only know 2 members of the Renegades. We know all 4 members of the Dynasty, Kevin.
And the question is, who is that third member? Is there even a third member? We saw them come out as just 2. It's truly one of the big mysteries in this tournament.
And Nathan Savage talks about all the devils he may know. What about all the devils that Parkside knows? What about the devils that Shaw knows? You never know who's going to be their partner in the Renegades.
And Shaw, 1/3 of the longest reigning trios champions in history, over 500 days. Absolute Anarchy ran roughshod. And of course his partners in that team, Corey Stone and Aiden Rain, could it be one of them? We never quite know.
Both these men, their tentacles reach deep in the sport of professional wrestling. You're talking about someone with the experience of Parkside and Shaw.
Yeah, get a good shot of this right here.
Now
watch this.
Jaxon Roy in a lot of trouble as the Grinder just shot after shot to the cranium of the Takedown King. He blocks it though. He's getting back in this. 1/4 of Dynasty, I should say. Ducks underneath. Beautiful springboard back elbow, and both men are down.
Can he follow up with the momentum? And Shaw, once again, taken down hard. Not often would you see Shaw leaving his feet in that manner, Kevin. Fans starting to come alive for Jaxon Roy. They would like nothing more than to see Dynasty advance in their debuts here at PWO.
And with a Grinder, the Renegades will stop at nothing to make sure they are the official known trios champions.
In their minds, Kevin, they're already the champions.
And now, Roy goes in, misses. Grinder, once again. Drop toe hold from Roy. Off the ropes, head full of steam. All of his weight onto that.
This is exactly what Roy needs to do.
Ooh, and a Blue Thunder bomb connecting. Kick out from the Grinder.
He needs to keep the Grinder disoriented in the state that he's in. Great combination from Jaxon Roy. Don't get frustrated now. He needs to stay into it. Where is Mikey Truth?
Mikey Truth watching from afar, I am sure. The moment Parkside gets involved, we'll see Truth here. But Roy, willing to go at it on his own here in the second round. But now the power of the Grinder falling onto Roy isn't enough to move on to the final, no.
Do they have power bombs in amateur wrestling, Kevin?
Well, I've seen them from time to time, but not like that.
Pure power from the Grinder, Mark Shaw. He's just having a good old time here at the Devil You Know. He's enjoying it.
Just a whole different Mark Shaw. Enjoying the pain he's inflicting on the future of this great sport. Roy now almost had an opening. Now Parkside causing the distraction. What's Shaw gonna do here? Shot to the throat. Up top goes Roy. And now the Death Valley Driver. Shaw has done it. Parkside down on the mat or on the floor.
Oh, wow.
And it's good for the win.
Renegades advancing. Well, Kevin, one step closer for the Renegades to officially being able to call themselves the Trios champions here at PWO. You see two of them with 3 belts. We're going to find out who the third man of the Renegades is going to be. Will it be tonight? Will it be at the Iron Cup?